Welcome to your latest Forest news. Coming up on today's episode, looking at Lookman, Forest want the Atalanta player. Ndicka from Roma could be moving across. Lucca from Udinese linked. And how long is Chris Wood out for? All this and plenty more coming up today on your latest Forest news. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to a lot of news and transfer news for you guys today. As always, if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Let's get 757. Don't know why I picked that number. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new. Make sure you're in that WhatsApp group for those quick, sharp updates as well. Okay, let's jump into this news. And as we said in the intro, Lookman is being linked with Forest. Now, this is a player who I'm sure a lot of you will remember for the wrong things about him rather than the right things about him. And of course, I'm referring to that penalty against West Ham back when he was playing against Fulham, and he penenkered it, and it was like one of the worst pens you've ever seen in your life. It was almost hilarious. But he's now missed another penalty or so. It was a couple of months ago, and his manager came out and literally called him the worst penalty taker, like on planet Earth, man, in the universe. And obviously that's not what you expect a manager to do. And obviously Lookman has had that go the wrong way with how he feels about it. You know what I'm saying? And I can't blame him. So Lookman is definitely looking to leave Atalanta this summer, and Forest are being linked with him. And what a good player he is. Now, before I tell you more about him, let me tell you about what they're saying. Now, do I believe this one? I don't know. I think he's been destined for like an Arsenal or something like that. But it says here, Forest are interested in signing Lookman in the summer. This is coming from Team Talk, by the way, which is too convinced about it. The Reds already have an eye on the new season, doing the whole spiel again. So there will be competition for him if we believe this is true at all. He's been flourishing at Atalanta, and it won't come to any surprise that Forest are interested. Other interested teams are Manchester United and Newcastle United as well. So I think Newcastle would be a good fit for him, because for me, I see him more as a 10, a shadow striker, so something like that, a player who would have to take Morgan Gibbs-White's position, in my opinion. Now, what's interesting is some of these names that are being linked with us right now are shadowish strikers. And likes of Cunha, we've heard that name linked, even though I've told you guys that that's not true. But that kind of position is being linked. Is this building up for an assault in the summer on a bunch of clubs trying to come and pry out Morgan Gibbs-White from Forest? We will have to wait and see. But anyway, let's run with this Lookman stuff. So he's played in loads of clubs in England, both Premier League and others that are no longer in Premier League. You got Charlton Athletic, you got Everton, you got Fulham, you got Leicester. And it's not really for me until he got to Atalanta where he started to flourish. He's 27 years old. He's played 28 times for Nigeria as well. So him and Ola Aina and Osman, I could work, you know. But then, of course, AFCON is coming up this year. Do we want to lose 3? We haven't even got him, but you know what I'm saying. Would I take him? Yes, I think he's quality. I'm very surprised that he didn't make it at a younger age in the Premier League. Maybe the clubs he was at the time. Leicester, I thought he was starting to do all right. I think he played 26 games there. Started to bag a few goals, 6 or 7 goals there as well. But he's expensive. He's valued at about 55 to 60 million pounds. The problem is that because everyone knows he wants to leave because of this beef, because of other things as well, it's going to be hard for them to demand that full valuation, in my opinion. And therefore, I think a deal could be done on Lookman to get him for a bit cheaper. How much cheaper, I don't know. but I would be interested in bringing him to Forest. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. All right, so next story is about a centre-back who's been linked with Forest, Evan Ndicka. Yeah, no jokes, no jokes. Now, for those of you OGs around here, you'll remember this is a player I wanted a couple of seasons back when he was going out on a free. And he ended up going to a Roma on a free. And currently, there are talks that he might be leaving. Not because he's crap, but because apparently his wages are too high. He earns about 4.2 mil a year, which equates to about 86k, something like that. That's in euros. So roughly speaking, he's on 80,000 a week. And Roma want to get some of those big salaries off their book, if you believe what the reports are saying. And apparently Forest are front runners on him. Now, he is a quality centre back, although is playing in a back three currently. I think can transition very easily into a back two. And there are other clubs interested in Ndicka, the likes of Arsenal and Real Madrid. So some big names they're interested in terms of Real and Forest, and then you have Arsenal. Anyway, let me run you through this report. So Forest have registered an interest in Roma defender Ndicka, who is currently in his second season in Serie A at Roma. I've always wondered, when you register an interest in a player, like, is that just putting your name on a list or whatever? I do wonder what these journalists write sometimes. This is according to Gazzetta dello Sport. Forest are set to challenge Arsenal and Real Madrid in the race to sign Ndicka this summer. The Tricky Trees are the front runners to land the Ivory Coast international, and Roma are already searching for ways to sell the defender, as I mentioned to you guys earlier, due to his high salaries. He arrived on a free from Roma after the expiry of his deal at Frankfurt. He's 25 years old. Da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Right, so in terms of him, why do I like him? Because I think he would work so well in the Premier League. You guys know I've always been a fan of good defenders from the Bundesliga who can come across to the Premier League. Now, another problem with him is that he's switched allegiances, man. He's gone all turncoat. He used to be French. He played through all the French kind of youth divisions. And then he decided that's enough. I'm going Ivory Coast. So this would be another AFCON thing. It puts me off a little. I'm not going to lie. It's just, I know AFCON's only a couple of weeks, but then you have, the period before, then you have the jet lag after, then the recovery after, and it ends up being like 2 or 3 months, and then the flow of the team is gone and all this crap. So I don't know. I really do like this guy as a centre back. And then you got to ask yourself the question, well, where's he going to play? How's he going to fit in? Because Ndicka coming to Forest, let's assume these reports are true. He ain't coming to do a Marato and warm the bench up. He's either playing or he ain't coming. It's as simple as that. And he's left-sided. So could Nuno be thinking about switching into a back three if, Murillo is staying, Milenkovic is staying, etc.? And then what about my boy Tyler Biden? What's he saying? We've still got him to come through. So there's so many moving parts in this that when I think about it logically, the only way I see this being true is if one of the established two were leaving, and I'm not convinced either would leave this summer. Therefore, I'm going to say I'm not buying this one just yet, but I would take him. What do you guys think? Alrighty, let's talk to you guys about some striker transfer rumours. And this is Lorenzo Lucca, the Udinese striker who came from Pisa. Anyway, he went on loan to them and now he's joined them permanently. I think he was at Ajax before that and what have you. And this guy is like a giant, man. This guy is basically the Miguel of the striking world. You know what? He just reminds me, I'm not going to lie to you guys, of Peter Crouch. Is he a bagsman? No. Well, he's quite strong. He's quite physical. Obviously, he's going to be somewhat good in the air with his height advantage. This probably does suit Nuno's style. I just don't think he's prolific. I think he's got 10 goals for Udinese in about 28 games this season, if I remember rightly. He is Italian. He's played like a couple of games for the national squad as well. I don't know. There's something so crouchy about him when I've watched him. And I don't know if that's me being heightist or whatever, but I can understand, and I could even myself make the argument that he would fit into a Nuno system with some wingers. He will work quite well. Do I want him now? I don't think I do. He's not expensive in the kind of greater scheme of things. You're looking at about £20 million to get this deal at least started. He's 24 as well, so he's of good age. There's nothing wrong with his profile, right? Let me just make myself clear. Nothing wrong with his profile. It's just not my style of footballer. You know what I'm saying? I'm a purist. I like an Henry, a Bergkamp, those kind of players. Crouch would never make my dream 11. But would you guys take him? Do you like watch the Serie A? Do you enjoy watching what Lucca can do? And do you think he could cut it in the Premier League? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, let me just give you a quick update on Cristiano Ronaldo. And the update is literally going to be for the same thing I said yesterday. Just wait, right? Just wait. There's so many things being talked about right now about he's got this, he's broken his rib, he needs a new hip replacement. I mean, he's 33, he ain't that old. You know, his hips will still work eventually. So, like, all we know is what has been said. And I'm just going to tell you guys and confirm to you guys, I mean, Chris Wood has said it himself. You know, he felt something go in his hip. He landed awkwardly. Then there's talks about this rib stuff with everything like that. I'm just saying to you guys, he's going to get checked when he comes back to Forest. I guarantee you Nuno's doing his presser this week. And the first question he will be asked, excuse me, will be about Chris Wood. And the first answer he will give you is, if he says he's out, then you know Chris Wood is probably out for a couple of weeks. If he says we are still assessing, then Chris Wood will probably be available for the Brighton game. Now, do I expect him to start the Brighton game? Probably not. Maybe rest him for the Man U game on the midweek that week. But what I'm going to say is I would say just stop asking me about him. I'll tell you when I know anything. I don't know. I'm not a medical expert. I can't give you any inside information on this. All I can tell you is if the club tell us he's all right or not. And obviously we've asked that question. But until they get him back, until they scan him up and do the doctory thing, no one's going to know. And anyone who's saying anything right now is just speculating. So wait and hear on Chris Wood. Now, I don't think, for me, just to contradict myself, to add some more speculation to it, I don't think it's anything major. He seemed to say, and that's based on what he said post-match as well. So he seems to think it's hopefully not too major, but he's not a doctor himself. But these footballers do understand their bodies, and when they talk to it, you know, the bodies talk to the footballers, that kind of thing. So wait and see on Cristiano Ronaldo. We will let you know. But this is why we needed another backup in January. I can't let that go for a single second. Anyway, that will do. There are other stories. We will chuck some more transfer news over on Patreon as well, exclusive for the Patreonies. That should be out, I think, tomorrow. So make sure if you want to follow us on that, you do. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you are new here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.